and really uplifting the voices and the vision of the community people to decide where their energy comes from and what that program would look like. And we've really been emphasizing, the need for affordable, clean energy for low-income people, people of color, for the families in Alameda County, and our point has been to really emphasize getting the money that we make in our community choice energy program and investing it back in actual local clean energy, like solar, like wind, like energy efficiency projects throughout Alameda County. Why? Because we need true clean energy in our communities. We need jobs. We need community benefits. We need to keep our energy wealth local in our communities. And we've been working with a huge alliance of different organizations in the housing sector, the environmental justice, climate justice sector, as well as union and workforce development. And everybody needs to have actual clean energy in our communities, including renters. I personally come from an environmental justice community in Southern California. I grew up in housing projects. I would love to see more of our families who live in public housing, thrive from actually benefiting from clean energy. And actually impacting our communities in a positive way instead of having more fossil fuel sources of energy in our communities that is actually compromising our health and compromising the health of our planet in the form of a global climate change. We can be having actual healthy, clean, thriving communities and clean environments in our community. And so that's what we've been working towards. If AB 813 were to go through and actually regionalize our grid with Western coal states, we would lose our California autonomy. We would lose our local Alameda County autonomy. We would actually be taking steps backwards and actually giving more life to the fossil fuel economy, and all the work that we've done with the East Bay Clean Power Alliance and East Bay Community Energy, our community choice program, would be undone. And that's why we're out here today opposing AB 813. So I'd like to invite you all to chant with me. We have a slogan that says clean power to the people. So when I say clean power, you say to the people, clean power! To the people! Clean power! To the people! Clean power! To the people. One more time, clean power! To the people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jessica and Ben, for laying that out for us. We live in a serious time where climate change is indeed one of the gravest challenges we face as a society. And despite that, here in California, we are still the nation's largest, the third largest oil producing state in the country. Governor Brown has refused to ban fracking. He has allowed 20,000 new oil permits in this state since he has been governor. The governor has even allowed the oil and gas industry to help write our climate policy. Clearly, Governor Brown has been a friend of the oil industry, even though he knows we need to get off of fossil fuels if we're going to have a chance. This is very concerning for the people of California, a majority of whom support a ban on fracking. But now we have another threat. On top of Governor Brown's support of fracking and drilling, last week, President Trump announced his support of exploring 400,000 acres for drilling and fracking in California public lands. We're very concerned. And was President Trump here?
Yeah, we're gonna frack! Make America great again, let's frack! Yeah, frack with the oil! I'm gonna make America great again! With fracking! Oh, and I'm gonna get rich! I'm getting rich! Oh, oil! Oh, I love oil! Hey, man, high five. We love oil.
Indeed. Governor Brown and President Trump right now are both pushing drilling offshore and onshore, and we know we need to put this to a stop if we're going to have a chance. But now I want to introduce another speaker to talk about the latest threat to California's clean energy future. Please join me in welcoming Lisa Tucker, who's the consumer advocate for Consumer Watchdog, to tell us all about Trump takeover of our regional energy market. Lisa, please come up.
Thank you, Adam. So, who's behind this whole ploy to take over our energy market for power? It's actually billionaires like Warren Buffett. You might not know it, but he owns massive utility holding companies. One of them is called Pacific Corp, but he has at least 3, and he serves almost 5 million customers across 11 western states. And he's got more coal power plants than anybody else. 2/3 of his plants actually use coal to generate their power, and he really wants to sell that power into California's market and wants to make a lot of money off of us by having us buy it and by having us finance new transmission lines for multiple billions of dollars to help him do it. And it really plays right into President Trump's agenda, which is to subsidize coal.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Coal! I love coal! 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 I love coal! More coal! Kids, get your respirators ready!
Boo! Yeah. No, see, you all might not understand, so I'll just try to explain it as simply as I can. Right now, we have control of our own grid. We control it. We have an independent body that does that. That independent body is appointed by the governor, and it is confirmed by the legislature, and we have some control over our own energy destiny, okay? The minute we get folded in with all those other western states and make one big happy family out of this, one big regional market for power, we're going to have a big, big problem, because there are western states already ready to run over to FERC and President Trump's appointees and tell them they don't like our green energy laws, they don't like our renewable portfolio standard, they don't like anything that advantages renewables and disadvantages fossil fuels, and we could really see a big problem. Oh my God, are you kidding? Brown thinks this is actually a good idea. He's been behind AB 813. He thinks that this is the way to spread the gospel of renewables, that we're going to have renewables taken up by the western states, and they're going to just fall all over themselves to do what we do here. Well, I got news. They're not. They are already ready, $1.5 million set aside by the state of Utah to sue us if we do anything to disadvantage their coal power. And Brown is right about to just give away the whole store. He's ready to give the whole thing away to President Trump.
I win!
He wins.
The grid's mine. And solar panels, forget about it!
Yeah, that's right. And we can't let that happen. We cannot. We have to resist this move to regionalize California's electricity market and avoid billions of dollars in speculation. In fact, let's just take a look at who's on the board that's going to control us, okay?
I love these guys.
Yeah, this is President Trump's appointees to the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. I'll just say 2 lines on each one. So Commissioner Neil Chatterjee, Mitch McConnell's advisor on energy, pushed to get out of the Paris Climate Accord, pushed to ratify the Keystone Pipeline, and told states to, quote, just say no to the EPA's Clean Power Plan. That's who's sitting up there. And we've got Richard Glick. He was general counsel for the Senate Energy Committee in the Congress, and he worked for Warren Buffett's Pacific Corp, actually. He was a top lobbyist for him, and he's now sitting on FERC. Do you think that maybe Warren Buffett can give him a call, tell him what he wants? And then we got Chairman Kevin McIntyre, Jones Day corporate lawyer. He represented the likes of Chevron, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs. By the way, those Wall Street firms were fined hundreds of millions of dollars for manipulating our markets back in the day. Remember Enron 20 years ago when we had our energy meltdown? Well, this is going to be part 2 because they will invalidate our laws, and Governor Brown is about to make that actually possible.
Winning! Make America great again! Coal! Coal! I love coal! In fact, I'm gonna bury California in coal! Coal! I love coal! I win! Winning!
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what's going to happen unless Governor Brown and the legislature change course. Stop AB 813 and no last-minute deals in these final weeks of legislation. We cannot allow California to be overrun by more coal imports, by more new oil drilling in our state. We need to take this climate threat seriously. The state is burning, we know it, and we need to go to renewable energy much more quickly. So I want to thank everybody for coming out today. I want to thank all the organizations. I don't really want to thank, but I want to acknowledge our actors who are playing Governor Brown and President Trump. Please give them a round of applause.
Winning! Make America great!
And we'd now like to ask if there's any questions here from the press. Any questions? We will ask the actors to hold just a little bit for more photo opportunities for all interested participants. And we will be around to take any other questions should you have any. Thank you so much for coming out this morning, everybody, and have a good day.